Hey, how's everybody doing? I was tagged in a recent, I guess this is called movie tag or something like that. I was tagged by Luke, and thank you, buddy. I think I was tagged by a couple of other people too, but I can't remember who it was, so sorry about that. Uh, Let me see. If this video seems a little rushed, it's because my camera sucks, and I think I got like 7 minutes before the battery dies, even though it's on a full charge. I need a new camera. But let's get right into this. Favorite movie of all time. That's going to be this, Back to the Future. And this is just a one-sheet poster that I got signed at a Comic-Con type event. And I had him sign it. Don't Be a Slacker, Bill. It's signed by James Tolkien. And super nice guy. And I asked him to sign it because that was my favorite line from the film. And I'm just a huge Back to the Future fan. I just got so many props and stuff that I replicas of. This is the remote control for the DeLorean. This actually will go up to 88 miles an hour, but I can't remember how to do it. I don't know. I haven't played with it a lot, and it does have sound on it. If I press the button over here.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
I don't know if you could hear that. It was very faint. And this here is, of course, the Pepsi Perfect bottle from Back to the Future 2. So, yeah, my favorite movie of all time probably Back to the Future. My favorite scene would be probably this scene, the first time jump scene in the DeLorean in the parking lot when they're trying to outrun the Libyans in the van. Yeah, so it's just a great scene, great movie. Now I'm going to shift over here and get my movies ready. Favorite actor of all time is going to be probably Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm a big fan of the action movies of the 80s and 90s. Jean-Claude Van Damme would probably be tied for first place. I've seen practically all their movies, and I love them to this day. Most annoying actor or actress. That's a hard one. I honestly, I don't really get annoyed by actors and actresses. I guess it would have to be that lady from Fran Drescher from a TV show. I can't even remember the name of it, but yeah, the voice gets me on that one. Favorite director. I don't even have to change the cover. Paul Verhoeven is probably one of my favorite directors. Total Recall, RoboCop, Starship Troopers, just a ton of awesome science fiction films. Great. I don't know what happened to him. He was on such a kick. I'm gonna guess that Starship Troopers was considered kind of a bomb for the budget that it had, and then to follow it up with Showgirls, which didn't do too well. Maybe it kind of synced him in Hollywood, but I was loving his movies. I'm really sad that he kind of dropped off the face of the earth after that. Guilty pleasure, I'm going to have to say Showgirls with Paul Verhoeven, because I love Verhoeven, and it was just, I still enjoyed it. Favorite tearjerker, I don't have one. I tend to stay away from tearjerkers and sad films. I like comedies, I like horror, I like action. And tearjerkers, it's one I've always left on the shelf at the rental store. So for this one, I'm going to have to pick that one that Pete Retire the Dead showed, the crying girl one with just a bunch of Japanese girls crying. A character from a movie that scared you the most. That finally a change here. The Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz. I'd have to go with this one. I hate people with painted faces, and this one got me as a kid. Gave me nightmares forever, and it's to this day it's still hard for me to watch. Just her acting is superb in this, very believable, and yeah, just a great film. Let's see, number 9, movie that you love but everybody else hates. I've talked about this too in the past. I'm going to say either of the Blair Witch movies. I loved both of them, actually. The first one I loved. because it was one of the first found footage films, and the viral marketing campaign was just amazing in it. Made you really believe that those three people were real because they were no-name actors, and it just really, they built up fake websites for it and everything else. Blair Witch 2, I liked it too because it took it out of the found footage genre into real life, and again, it had some pretty cool actors in it. The goth girl I liked. And, it just went to capitalize on the Blair Witch phenomena in Maryland, where it was true. Everybody was flocking to this city, Blairstown, was it, or something like that. And, they just went ahead and showed all that stuff. So I kind of enjoyed that. A movie that you hate, but everyone else loves, I actually don't have a copy of it to show, but it's going to be A Clockwork Orange, which a few people have mentioned, which I've been glad at because I just don't get the movie. I love Stanley Kubrick. The Shining is one of my favorite movies of all time too. But The Clockwork Orange was just too bizarre for me, and I just didn't really get it. And I don't even think I've ever finished the film. It's like I always get bored with it halfway through, and I have to shut it off. I've tried to watch it many times, and I never can finish it. Favorite animated film? I don't have any to show, but I'm going to have to say Toy Story on that one. Actor or actress you have a crush on? That's easy. They're both in this movie here. Total Recall, the remake. And Kate Beckinsale and Jessica Biel. Love them both. Try and see all their movies. Favorite movie villain? Did I have something picked for that? Yeah, actually I do. Captain Spaulding from House of a Thousand Corpses. One of the best new horror icons to come out of the 21st century. I believe it was made in 2000 or something like that. So, a movie that surprised you. Do I have one? No, actually I don't have one for that. Sorry. Who is your least favorite director? That's going to be Ang Lee, and I know he's popular right now with winning an Oscar, but he destroyed one of my favorite franchises in the past. I was looking so forward to that Hulk movie for so long, being a lifelong fan of the Incredible Hulk with the comics and the TV show from the 70s, and I was such looking forward to that, and I was so let down. I actually fell asleep in the movie theater. And it was just bored me to tears. And the CGI was terrible. I just hated that movie. Favorite book turned into a movie. That's an easy one. A lot of people have mentioned, and that's Jaws. Just an amazing book and maybe even better movie. What more needs to be said about Jaws? A movie that has changed or has a significant impact on your life. Then I'm going to go with Prometheus. Yeah, people are probably saying, what the heck, how could that change your life? Just really got me thinking on creation and where we all came from. I've done a lot of research on it, checking out documentaries and stuff, and always love it. It's just a hot topic I love to talk to people about and what they believe and what they think. Is there a God? Is there no God? Just interesting stuff to me. Favorite movie quote of all time? That's another easy one for me, and I gotta go over here for that. Anybody recognize this scene? This is from Christmas Vacation. I love this movie, and I actually bought this animation cell. That was actually used in the movie, but the favorite scene I'm talking about is they're on the ski slope, and Randy Quaid is saying why he won't go down the ski slope on a sled, because he said every time Catherine turns the microwave on, he pisses his pants and forgets who he was for a half hour. And I seen that with my cousin in the theater, and I took a drink of soda at the wrong possible time, right before that line was delivered, and it got stuck in the back of my throat after he said it, and it was either I was going to choke to death on it or it was coming out my mouth because, it was just that funny, and I could not breathe. So I ended up spitting that soda out all over the person in front of me, and it was kind of funny because when you try to like stop the liquid from coming out of your mouth, you purse your lips, and it just makes it go further and like a finer mist, like almost like if you have a hose and water's coming out of it, and you put your thumb there, and it just sprays out like that. So yeah, that was a funny. My cousin was scared to death. He looked at me like, "What the hell are you doing?" It was funny. A movie you've grown to love. Back over here. The Last House on the Left. When I first seen this one, I was talking to Joe the Horror Man about this experience. I actually despised this movie and actually traded it in for like $3 at the local pawn shop. And it was just too dirty and grimy and just made you feel like you wanted to take a shower after watching it. And then, after subsequent viewings and other stuff I've watched, now I actually really like it a lot. And I even like the remake on it that they made. So, yeah, I've grown to appreciate it. Looking down here. An actor that most people don't like that you love. Again, for this one, I'm going to have to agree with a lot of people saying Nicolas Cage. Question 22, most hated film. I do have something for that. Things. I don't know if anyone's seen this one. It was put out by Intervision, and they actually did a big release on this with a VHS tape as well. I hated this movie. I forget where I seen it. I think someone recommended it. And it's just a poorly made, terrible, terrible movie. I don't know. Maybe some people like it. It's got kind of a cult following, I guess. I don't know why. I think they like to have parties and just laugh at how bad it is. That's the only thing I can think of because there's no redeeming quality in this movie. I hate it. Favorite remake is number 23. And I don't know if I'm going to have to say on that one, remake. I'm going to have to say The Last House on the Left, I guess. Or, The Ice, I'm going to say, Dawn of the Dead, actually. Dawn of the Dead, the remake I loved. Let me see, I think one or two more questions here. Favorite death scene is number 24. And for that, I'm going to say, I think it was Friday the 13th 6, the sleeping bag death, where Jason grabs someone who was in a sleeping bag and just starts pounding him off the nearest tree. That one was always a funny scene, and yeah, I love it. Number 25, I know Mondo Scalito added, what's your favorite score? Again, for that, I'm going to have to say Dawn of the Dead, the original. And now I'm supposed to add a question, and I'm going to say, I don't think anyone said this, what's your favorite foreign movie? One that comes to mind for me right away that I've recently seen is Dream Home. I think this is Korean and just a great modern day slasher film with a great concept. So yeah, those are my answers to the questions. Again, thanks, Luke, for tagging me. I have to tag one or two people. I'm going to tag Bjmloker, and I'm also going to tag Tyler, TP20. And before I say that, sorry guys if you've already been tagged and I just missed that video. But I don't think you guys have, so I'm tagging you too. And, actually, I'll also tag Bones. I don't think I've seen a video from him yet. So Bones, Tyler, and Brandon. And if those three guys have been tagged, then I'm going to go with Peanut Butter Jelly, Tyler's arch nemesis. So, guys, thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.